Hello, my name is Eli Khan. Welcome to a yoga session. You can have bare feet. I just noticed I have socks on, so I'm going to take my gripper socks off. And we'll begin in our standing mountain position. Palms are facing forward. Shoulders are relaxed away from our ears. Focusing on our breath, our eyes can be opened or closed. In any yoga position, closing our eyes would always challenge our balance, so maybe on some of those single-legged balancing moves, we might want to keep those eyes open. But this is a safe place with both feet anchored to the floor to have eyes closed. However, if you find yourself teetering over, open those eyes and you might find that it's easier to balance. Let's breathe in, lengthen our arms up and overhead. Breathing out as we release our hands and our energy to our heart center. Let's find ourselves stepping our legs out nice and wide onto our mat into our sunflower stance. We breathe in, circle sweep our arms up and overhead. Breathe out as we bend our knees, squat down, gathering our imaginary sunflowers. One breath. One movement, body and mind working together, breath and movement matching. Potentially dropping our head as we fold our knees, if that's okay. For our blood pressure, maybe continuing to look forward as we fold those knees. Moving as fast or as slow as your breath guides you. Attempting to breathe through the nose at all times. Allowing our muscles to move with our minds. Allowing our breath and our movement to match. We're letting go of thoughts of the past. We're letting go of thoughts of the future. We're finding ourselves in this present breath, in this present moment. The next time we breathe in, let's keep both arms elevated up and overhead, sunflower circles, bending one knee, sweeping the floor with our hands and coming up. You select the direction of these sunflower circles. We reverse the direction of our sunflower circles. Last one. Raising our arms back up and overhead. Let's release hands to heart center. We're turning our right toes to face the back of our mat, pressing our left toes to the back of the mat, right heel towards the front of the mat. Warrior two arms. As we breathe out, folding into our left knee joint. Breathe in as we straighten. Breathe out to fold. You can continue to send your eye gaze facing the side of your mat. If you'd like to look towards your left hand, towards the back of your mat, you may. We can hold in our warrior two-leg position, reverse warrior. Breathe in, breathe out to our extended angle. Breathe into reverse warrior, breathing out to our extended angle. If you'd like to place a block underneath your left hand and drop that left hand to the floor or to a block, you may, maintaining the integrity of this left shoulder, open to the sky. And let's return to our warrior two arms. Let's straighten through our left knee joint, resting our hands down now, adjusting right toes towards the front of our mat, left heel towards the back of our mat. Return to our warrior two arms. We fold into our right knee joint and we straighten as we breathe. One breath, one movement, body and mind working together. Breath and movement matching. We hold in our warrior two. Breathe in, reversing warrior. Breathe out to our version of extended angle. Breathing into our reverse warrior. Breathing out, maybe dropping our right hand to the floor if the left shoulder can stay open to the ceiling. Maybe that right hand to a block. Let's return to our warrior two arms, straightening through our right knee joint, resting our hands down, adjusting our feet to our sunflower feet. 5-pointed star to our moon god. Breathing in, 5-pointed star. Breathing out as we sink into our moon god. Option to add warrior two arms for every other moon god. If we're comfortable with the foot positioning of warrior two legs, options to add our warrior two leg position. Last one, 5-pointed star. Release hands to heart center. Stay wide with your stance. Hinge the heart center forward, standing cat. Breathe out, round up into our beautiful cat, dropping the head. Breathe in to arch into our cow. Breathe out as we round. Breathing in as we arch. If you'd rather drop down to all fours, your quadruped position, you may. Let's roll ourselves up, standing position. Walk our feet towards each other. Standing mountain pose, palms are facing forward. Shoulders are relaxed away from our ears. Activated chair. Breathe in, we lengthen our arms to the sky. Breathe out, folding our knees into our activated chair. Breathing in, extended mountain. Breathing out as we sink into our chair. One breath, one movement. Body and mind working together. Breath and movement matching. If we want to make our chair more challenging as we bend our knees, raise those heels off of the floor. It's okay to keep the heels resting. Less challenging, hands can rest to our thighs. Most challenging, biceps by ears instead of hands up to the height of our shoulders. I prefer hands to the height of my shoulders when I squat down into my chair. You do what feels best for your body or what you would like to do to potentially challenge your body for today. Let's keep both arms elevated up and overhead. Let's release hands and energy to our heart center. Facing the front of our mats, palms are facing forward, mountain pose. Breathe in, lengthening arms up and overhead. Breathe out, we swan dive, hinging from our hips. Forward fold. Breathe in, we look forward, monkey pose. Breathe out, let's step our right foot back. Kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathing in, heart center sky. Breathing out, releasing our hands as we step back, down dog or child's pose extended. We breathe into our plank or our modified plank, chest over hands. Breathe out, we lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, drop the hips, roll up dog. Breathe out. Maybe add your extra push-up. Back to your down dog or your child's pose extended. We step our right foot forward. Left knee to the mat or not, you decide. Breathing in, heart center sky. Breathing out, release our hands as we step forward, forward fold. Breathe in, we reverse our swan. Breathing out, chair pose. Left side. Breathe in, lengthen back up, extended mountain. Breathing out, swan diving, forward fold. Breathe in, we gaze forward, monkey. Breathe out, we step our left foot back, kneeling warrior. Or crescent lunge. Breathing in, heart center sky. Breathing out, releasing our hands as we step back, down dog, or child's pose extended. Let's breathe into our plank or our modified plank. Breathing out, we lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, drop the hips, roll upward facing dog. Breathe out, back to down dog, or child's pose extended. We step our left foot forward. Breathing in, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathing out, we release our hands as we step forward, forward fold. Breathe in, we reverse our swan. Breathing out, chair pose, right side. Breathe in, lengthen back up, extended mountain. Breathing out when we swan dive, hinge from our hips into our forward fold. Breathe in, we gaze forward, monkey. Breathe out, we step our right foot back, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathing in, lengthening heart center sky. Breathing out, release our hands as we step back. Maybe left leg kicks up to a three-legged down dog or child's pose extended. We breathe into our plank or modified plank. That left leg could remain lifted. Breathe out, we lower down. Better knees to hit the mat than chest or belly. Breathe in, both feet to the mat. Roll up dog, lengthening ears from shoulders. Breathe out, maybe add your extra push-up. Back to down dog or child's pose. We step our right foot forward. Breathing in, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathing out, releasing our hands as we step forward, forward fold. Breathe in, we reverse our swan. Breathing out, chair pose. Left side, breathe in, lengthen back up, extended mountain. Breathing out, we're swan diving, hinging from our hips into our forward fold. Breathe in, we gaze forward, monkey pose. Breathe out, we step our left foot back. Kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathing in, heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands, we step back. Down dog or child's pose, maybe right leg kicks up to our three-legged down dog. We breathe into our plank or modified plank. That right leg could remain lifted. Breathe out, we lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, both feet to the mat. Roll up dog. Breathe out, back to down dog or child's pose. We step our left foot forward. Breathing in, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathe out, release our hands as we step forward, forward fold. Breathing in, we reverse our swan. Breathing out, chair pose. Right side. Breathe in, lengthen back up, extended mountain. Breathing out, we're swan diving, hinging from our hips into our forward fold. Breathe in, we gaze forward, monkey pose. Breathe out, we step our right foot back, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathing in, lengthening heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands, we step back, down dog or child's pose, maybe left leg kicks up to our three-legged down dog. We breathe into our plank or our modified plank. Breathe out, we lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, both feet to the mat, roll up dog. Breathe out, back to down dog or child's pose extended. We step our right foot forward. Breathing in, heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands as we step forward, forward fold. Breathe in, we reverse our swan. Breathing out, chair pose, left side. Breathe in, lengthen back up, extended mountain. Breathing out, swan diving, forward fold. Breathe in, we gaze forward, monkey. Breathe out, we step our left foot back, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathing in, heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands as we step back, down dog or child's pose. Maybe right leg kicks up to a three-legged down dog. We breathe into our plank or our modified plank. Breathe out, we lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, both feet to the mat. Roll up dog. Breathe out, back to down dog. Or child's pose. We step our left foot forward. Breathing in, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathing out, releasing our hands as we step forward, forward fold. Breathe in, we reverse our swan. Breathing out, chair pose. Breathe in, let's lengthen those arms back up and overhead. Breathe out, swan diving forward, hinging from our hips. Hang out here in your forward fold. Sending hands to opposite elbows. Maybe sway a little bit side to side. Maybe stay centrally located. Always breathe. Return to a central location if you were swaying side to side. Release your hands down to your mat. Let's find ourselves in our downward facing dog. Walk, hop, or jump. Feet back to your downward facing dog, realizing it's okay to substitute child's pose extended for down dog at any point during our yoga session. We rest down onto all fours, hands and knees, quadruped position. Keeping our head in line with our spine. Let's go into some cat-cow postures from this quadruped. Breathing out, we round into our beautiful cat. Breathing in as we arch into our luxurious cow. One breath, one movement. You choose how fast or slow you'd like to move here. Allow your breath to guide your movement. It's the journey that matters in our yoga practice as opposed to the final destination. Let's drop down to elbows and forearms, clasping our hands together. Curling those toes under, preparing for a dolphin pose, similar to down dog, but elbows and forearms are hitting the mat instead of being onto our wrists. Lifting those knees to the sky, attempting to press your heels to the floor. It's okay if the heels don't actually hit the floor. And we breathe. Rest those knees down. Child's pose it back. And I'm going to walk my elbows and forearms forward just a little bit from where they just previously were. You might stay where you were. I just know that I want to go into that dolphin to a plank on the forearms, and I wasn't going to have enough space. So lifting back up into that dolphin. My heels are a lot higher here. I'm actually going to scoot my feet back a little bit more. Breathe in to my plank. Breathe out to my dolphin. Breathe into my plank. Breathe out to my dolphin. Hang out here in your dolphin. Rest those knees down. Child's pose, extended, modified, or regular. Camel pose. If you want to apply an extra fold to your mat to have more cushion for your knees, go for it. I like to widen the stance of my knees on this one. Fists towards glutes. Press the hips forward towards the front of your mat. Open up through the chest. Now you can send your eye gaze forward. If your neck allows you to, you can look up to the ceiling and maybe even hinge back and possibly send your hands towards your ankles or your heels, depending on what functions for your body today. Breath continuation. bringing ourselves up. Now this next pose is called a hero pose. If you have knee issues, don't do it. Go into a child's pose or a down dog or just take a little breather. But hero pose, my knees are so wide, I'm sitting my booty back onto the mat. Now, you might be able to get here, but if this hurts, please stop, okay? The next option is to start to attempt to send your spine onto your mat. I'm not even sure if I'm still in the same photo frame. Maybe releasing back down. And this is going to be a challenge. It's been a while since I've done my hero pose. Try to relax, try to breathe. Hero. H as in hippopotamus, E as in elephant, R as in rhinoceros, O as in octopus. Hero, that's our word of the day. Hero. Okay. Let's bring ourselves out of that. I've had enough. Undoing the fold, downward facing dog, or child's pose extended. Breathing. Let's walk, hop, or jump feet forward. Forward fold, softening of those knees. Using the power of our legs, we breathe in, circle sweep our arms to the sky. Breathing out, we release hands and energy to our heart center. Let's find ourselves stepping our left foot back, warrior one. Releasing our left heel to the mat. It's okay if you'd rather have a crescent lunge and raise that left heel off of the mat. Folding through the right knee joint, we sink into low body, we expand back with our upper body. Full warrior oneers, twist the torso slightly to the right to align shoulders, hips, and belly with the front of our mats. On our next exhalation, warrior two, we've been here before. Sink into low body, expand back with our upper body. Imagining that we have a friend tugging on each hand equally. Maybe sending our eye gaze towards our right hand, maybe sending your eye gaze towards the side of your mat. Let's straighten through our right knee joint, triangle pose. Breathe in, lean towards the front of your mat, booty towards the back of your mat. Breathe out, drop the right hand to the knee, shin block, ankle, foot, or floor extending up through the tips of our left fingers, imagining our bodies in between two window panes, carefully not touching the glass in front or behind us, and breathing. We release, top hand down, pyramid pose, stepping our left foot slightly inward. And it's okay to have your hands on either side of your right foot or to have hands on top of your blocks or your textbooks. Shifting your hips forward and back to determine if one hip placement over another creates our desired sensation. For our pyramid pose, reversing our triangle, we're going to take our right hand to our waist. We're going to be twisting away from each other. Eye gaze to the right side of our mat. Maybe eye gaze over our right shoulder to the ceiling above us. Possibly straighten through the right elbow joint. The left hand can stay here to the inside of our right foot, or to make it more challenging for more rotation of the spine, send this left hand to the outside of our right foot. It can be on or off a block as well. Rotation of the spine to guide us in our digestive tract. And we breathe. Let's return to our pyramid pose. Let's step ourselves back, downward facing dog. Noticing the difference in sensation between the right and the left sides of our bodies. Resting our knees down to the mat. Sitting back. Child's pose. Extended, modified, or regular. We can stay here in our child's pose if you'd like to join me for a crow pose. Just make sure the wrists can handle this and the core is strong enough for it. Curling those toes under, heels touching, toes apart, and taking the knees off of the mat. Walking my hands back so my hands are fairly close to my feet. My calves really are hugging my elbows, my calves and my inner thighs are. Now you can stay here. If you'd like, the heels will come apart when this happens. Flip those toes back so the tops of your feet are to the mat instead of the balls of your feet, and possibly adjust your weight and raise those toes off of the mat into your crow pose. If you can only hold this for a split breath or second, that's okay. Release back down, child's pose. Extended, modified, or regular, maybe roll out those wrists. Let's walk our hands towards our knees. We're going to wrap our feet around towards the backs, or towards the front of our mats, laying down on our backs. Once we're here on our backs, modified pigeon pose, reclining. Let's place left ankle to right thigh, raising our right foot off of the mat. Left hand inside the whole crate of our legs, clasping our hands around our right hamstrings or right shin. And breathing. Let's release the hold, trade it out. Modified pigeon pose for the other side. Right ankle to left thigh, raise the left foot off of the mat, right hand inside the whole crate of our legs, clasping our hands around our left hamstrings or left shin. I accept my body and my mind completely in this moment, in this breath. Releasing, rolling over to one side for a side lying dancer pose. Folding the knee joint of our top leg. And breathing. We release, we trade it out to the other side. I'll just turn my back to you. Let's release, roll onto your belly. Head is near the back of your mat. Gentle cobra. Sliding our shoulders away from our ears. We're raising our face off of the mat to our gentle cobra. Let's release back down. Child's pose. Extended, modified, or regular. Curling our toes under, lifting our knees off of the mat into our downward facing dog. Let's walk, hop, or jump feet forward, forward fold, standing near the back of our mat. Using the power of our legs, we breathe in, circle, sweep our arms to the sky. Breathing out, we release hands and energy to our heart center. Standing mountain pose, facing the backs of our mats. Let's breathe in, lengthen our arms back up and overhead. Breathe out, swan diving forward, hinging from our hips, forward fold. We'll step our right foot back to accommodate warrior one, kneeling warrior, or crescent lunge, folding through our left knee joint. Breathe in, lengthening heart center sky, folding into our left knee joint, expanding back with our upper body, maybe twisting our torso slightly to the left to align shoulders, hips, and belly with the backs of our mats. On our next exhalation, warrior two, facing the side of our mat, sink into low body, expanding back with our upper body. Eye gaze possibly to our left fingers, or maybe eye gaze to the side of our mat. Select what you may have chosen on the first side to promote a balance for your neck muscles. Continuing to send positive healing exhalations to any area of our body where we currently feel a sensation. Let's straighten through our left knee joint, preparing for our triangle pose. Breathe in, lean towards the back of your mat. Breathe out, drop your left hand to knee, shin, block, ankle, textbook, foot, or floor. Open up through the right shoulder, lengthening up through the right fingertips, and breathing. Releasing top hand down, pyramid pose, stepping our right foot slightly. Hands can go to blocks, textbooks, or floor depending on flexibility, attempting to straighten through our left knee joint. Adjusting hips forward and back to determine if one hip placement over another creates a desired sensation. We can stay here in our pyramid if you'd like to join me for reverse triangle. Raise your left hand to your waist, twisting away from me, maybe looking to the left side of your mat. Maybe raise the left hand up to the sky. Maybe send your eye gaze over your left shoulder towards those left fingers. Right hand can stay where it is, or right hand can move to the outside of our left foot. Limiting rotation of the spine if we're pregnant or if we have back issues. Understanding what's acceptable for our bodies today. Continuing to send positive healing exhalations to whichever area of our body currently asks for a little extra attention. Better us to provide our own relief with our breath. Come on back to center. We step back, down dog, or child's pose extended. Resting our knees to the mat, sitting back, child's pose extended if we're not already there. Now we can lay down on our backs again. Otherwise, if you'd like to join me for a regular pigeon, return to your downward facing dog. Raising the right knee up towards the sky, three-legged down dog, sweeping this right knee up towards our chest, resting our right foot to the left side of our mat. We can stay upright, avoid falling onto your right butt cheek, stay on top of your left leg, maybe surrendering elbows and forearms to the mat. It's okay to stay on your back for the reclining pigeon or the modified pigeon. Sending hands back underneath shoulders. Curling the left toes under, stepping back, down dog, or child's pose extended. This time, raising our left knee high up towards the sky, three-legged down dog. Sweeping our knee up towards our chest, resting our left foot over to the right side of our mat, potentially dropping onto elbows and forearms. Avoid falling onto your left butt cheek. And let's breathe. It's okay again to be on your back in the modified version. Continuing to send positive healing exhalations to any area of our body where we currently feel sensation. Sending hands back underneath shoulders. If we had dropped down to elbows and forearms, we step back. Downward facing dog or child's pose extended. Releasing knees down to our mat. Quadruped position. Maybe substitute a fist for a wrist. Sending one leg behind us. Maybe opposite arm forward. Spinal balance. Release. Switch over other side, other leg, opposite arm. Breath continuation. Release back down. Modified child's pose, stacking fist on top of fist, resting forehead on two stacked fists. Breath continuation. Let's walk our hands back towards our knees and wrap our feet around towards the backs of our mat so we can lay down on our backs with our heads near the front of our mats. While we're here on our backs, bridge pose, knees are bent, soles of the feet to the mat. We can raise our hips off of the mat. We can place our yoga block or our textbook underneath the tailbone. Then your back doesn't have to work as much, just depending on what's going on with your body. Maybe walk the shoulders a little bit closer towards each other. Potentially interlace your hands underneath your buttocks, pressing equally through all four corners of each foot, and we're breathing. We release the hold of our hands if we had gone into our chest expansion, resting our hips back down to our mat. Finding ourselves butterfly pose for our legs as we lay here on our backs, soles of the feet touching. We can place our hands onto our abdominals and feel our breath enter and exit our bodies. Now let's straighten one leg, drawing the left knee up towards our chest, pressing our left knee over to the right side of our mat. Spinal rotation. Dorsiflexing the left foot, pulling the left toes up towards our face. Let's return to center and trade it out to the other side, pulling our right knee in towards our chest, pressing our right knee to the left side of our body, and breathing. reminding ourselves that we limit our rotation of the spine if we're pregnant or if we have back issues. Let's gently return to center, finding ourselves up to a seated position. Returning to our butterfly stretch from our seated position. Soles of the feet to touch, holding onto our ankles as opposed to our toes. Possibly stay upright, maybe hinge forward. Always breathing. We'll bring ourselves back up, straightening our legs forward. Forward fold. If you have a strap or a spare t-shirt you'd like to wrap around the arches of your feet, go for it. Hinge on forward. Hands can rest at thighs, knees, shins, ankles, feet, or straps, sinking upper body over lower body. The next time we breathe in, gaze forward, monkey pose. Relaxing through head and neck. Let's bring ourselves back up. And let's find ourselves seated, spinal twist. Fold your left knee, keep your right leg straight out in front of you. You can step your left foot over your right leg if you like. Maybe right hand or right elbow to the outside of our left knee. Maybe look to the back of your mat. Maybe look over your left shoulder behind you. We return to center. We switch to the other side. Folding our right knee, possibly stepping our right foot over our left leg, left hand or left elbow to the outside of our right knee joint. Breathe in through the low back, breathing out, possibly sink 1/10 of a millimeter deeper into our stretch, maybe eye gaze over our right shoulder behind us. And we return to center. We're going to find ourselves laying on our backs. I'm just going to grab a little textbook that I have. I'm going to do something today called progressive muscle relaxation. You get to lay it down on your back, so I'm going to read off of this to give you the verbal cues, similar to some of the tightening that we've done previously. But when we perform these tightening of the muscle groups, and I'll talk you through from your lower extremities up to the top part of your body, only tighten those muscles to about 70% of their capacity. So here you are laying on your back, and I'll just lay on my back and kind of read this off to you and maybe do some of the choreography. Point your feet. Curl your toes downward. Study the tensions created in the arches and in the tops of your feet. Hold on. Identify with this tension. Now soften, release, and relax. Again, point your feet, curling your toes downward. Study the tension created in the arches and in the tops of your feet. Hold on to this tension. Identify with it. Now soften, release, and relax. This time, flex your feet upwards towards your face, dorsiflexion, and experience the tension created in your feet and in your calves. Hold on to these sensations. Now release and let go. Again, flex your feet upwards towards your face and notice the tension created in your feet and in your calves. Experience the sensations created. Hold on to them. Now release and relax. Push your heels down against the floor as if you're burying them into imaginary sand. Hold on. Identify with the tension created in the backs of your thighs. Now soften, release, and relax. Again, press your heels down against the floor as if you're burying them into sand. Hold on to these sensations created in the tension of the back of your thighs. Now release and let go. Contract your right thigh. I like to start off with bent knees on this one. Contract your right thigh by straightening through your right leg and gently raising this right foot off of the floor. Hold on. Experience the tension created in this right leg. Now release and relax. Straighten through your left leg and lift that left foot slightly off of the floor. Hold on to the tension created. Now soften, release, relax. Return to lifting your right foot off of the floor. Straightening through this knee joint and breathing into this. Identify with the experience of this sensation. Now release and let go. Finally, straighten through the left knee joint and raise that left foot off of the mat. Notice the difference in sensation between the right and the left sides of your bodies. Now soften, release, and relax. Up to you to have bent knees or straight legs. Tighten through your buttocks. Raise your hips ever so slightly, not a shoulder bridge, but just a slight hip lift off of the floor. Hold on to the tension created in your booty. Now release and relax. Again, tighten through your buttocks and lift your hips ever so slightly off of your mat. Now soften, release, and relax. Contract through your abdominal muscles. Hold onto them tightly. This is your powerhouse, a place you extend from and return to in your yoga practice. Hold on to these abdominal muscles tightly. Now soften, release, relax. Again, contract through your abdominals. Hold on to them tightly. Experience the tension created around your abdominal core. Now soften, release, and relax. Suck in your stomach. We're imprinting our spine. Flattening your low back into your mat. Hold on and experience the tensions created in your stomach and in your lower back. Now soften, release, and relax. Again, tighten through Your lower abdominals imprinting your spine into the mat, flattening your low back into your carpet or your mat. Embrace the tensions created within this portion of your body. Now soften, release, and relax. Take a deep breath. Hold on to it. Now slowly breathe this air out. The next time you're ready, breathe in and hold on to your breath, finding your wellspring of inner peace and calm. Releasing that air slowly and carefully. Continue this process a couple more times. Some of you, it may only be one more time, depending on how long you're able to hold on to that breath. Slowly releasing and letting go. Noticing how when you focus on your breath, it may become slower and more relaxed. Place your arms by the sides of your body and clench both fists. Hold on to the tension created in your hands. Now soften, release, and relax. Again, clench both fists, holding on, experiencing and identifying with the tensions created in your body. Now soften, release, and relax. Bend your elbows, tapping your hands to your shoulders and tightening through your biceps, really drawing the forearms into those biceps and holding on to the tensions created. Now soften, release, relax. One more time, fold those elbows, bring your hands to tap onto your shoulders and tightening through your biceps, holding on to these sensations. Now soften, release, and allow your palms to face the sky. Place your arms flat on the floor with your palms up. Push your forearms hard against the floor and experience the tension created on your triceps. Hold on to this tension. Identify with it. Now soften, release, and relax. Again, with your palms facing the ceiling, press into your forearms and experience the tension created in your triceps. Now soften, release, and relax. Shrug your shoulders up by your ears. Notice the tensions created in your shoulders and in your neck. Experience and identify with this tension. Now soften, release, and let go. Again, shrugging your shoulders up by your ears, holding on to this tension. Now soften, release, and relax. Gently press your head backwards. Notice the tension created in the back of your neck. Embrace this tension. Now release and relax. Again, gently push your head backwards into your mat or your carpet. Embrace the tensions created. Now soften and relax. Gently bring your head towards your chest, chin towards chest, pushing forward. Hold on to this tension. Identify with the sensations created in your neck. Now release and relax. Again, dip your chin towards your chest and experience the tensions created. Now soften, release, relax. Press your tongue toward the roof of your mouth. Hold on to this position. Now soften, release, and let go. Again, raise your tongue to the top of your mouth and hold on to it here. Now release and relax. Press your teeth together, clenching through the jaw just to your 70% nose. Experience the tensions created in your face. Now release and relax. Again, clenching through your jaw, holding on. Now release and let go. Close your eyes tightly shut. Identify with the sensations created in your face. Now you can keep your eyes closed, but release that tension. And again, tightening through the eyes, tightening the muscles surrounding the eyes, and breathing. Now soften, release, and relax. Finally, wrinkle through your forehead and notice the tension in between your eyebrows. Now release and relax. Final round, tightening through the forehead, wrinkling through your forehead. Now soften, release, and relax. Finding your final few minutes here of relaxation in your comfortable position. This is your time to breathe. This is your time to feel. If a thought comes to mind, allow your exhalation to erase it. let's gently roll over to one side into a fetal position, allowing our bottom arm to serve as our pillow, allowing our knees to fold up towards our chest. Possibly wiggling fingers and toes to help reawaken our body. We gently press ourselves up to our seated position, tilting one ear towards the shoulder, lengthening the muscles on the side of our neck. We return to center and switch over, tilting to the other shoulder. We return to center. Let's breathe in, lengthen our arms up and overhead. Breathing out as we release hands and energy to our heart center. Thank you for taking the time to join me today. My spirit honors yours.